Hey everyone, today I'm going to be teaching you everything I can about Adobe Premiere in under 10 minutes. So when you first open Adobe, you're going to want to start a new project, which you will find here. Next, you want to choose where you're going to save this project. So you do this by going to Browse and choosing where you want to save it. Add a title name, and then click OK when you're happy with that. So once you've opened Premiere, you will be greeted by this screen, or at least something similar to this. If not, you can look up here along this dock. You have Learning, Assembly, Editing, which I am on and use most of the time, Color, Effects, Audio, Graphics, Libraries, All Panels, Meta-logging, and Production. If you don't even see this, come up to Window, and then go to Workspaces, and you'll be able to select what you want to select. So right now, I'm going to stick with Editing. As you can see, we have these sort of divided boxes here. Now some of these I will get into later, but right now, as you can see, here is the toolbar. So you got the selection tool and these other tools below it that do different things. Up here in this right box, we have the playback. So once you have a clip, then you press this button to play it back. In this bottom right, you have the timeline. So this is where you see all of the edits you are making. In the top left, you have things like effect controls, audio clip mixer, and metadata. But before we go into all of those, we need to import a clip into here. As you can see, import media to start. So you can do this multiple ways, but the way I like to do it is go to my files and pick out the footage that I want to pick. So once you have found the clips in the files, you want to drag them over to import media to start. This will import them into your project. Now that you have that, you can exit out of your folder. Once you have your clips imported, you want to drag them onto your timeline. So I'm going to take this one here on the left and drag it here. This will create a sequence over here. The sequence is basically everything in your timeline or the product of all the clips you have added to it. So if I add this clip to it, you'll see the sequence get longer. If I add this clip to it, it will also get longer. So first let's go over some of the tools. Once you have your clips in your timeline, you can move them around with this tool, the selection tool. You can also press V to get to this tool. The tool below that will select all of the clips to the right. Before I talk about the tool below this one, we need to talk about cropping in the timeline. So what I mean by this is making a clip shorter or longer than it is. To do that, we're going to want to press V or go to our toolbar and press on that. Then we simply want to come to the end of a clip and drag it over like this. As you can see, the clip will be cut off at a certain point. So say I want it to be cut off right here. I will drag this back, and then nothing will be played after this keyframe. Okay, so I want to undo that. I'm going to press Control Z on Windows or Command Z on Mac. So now we can talk about this tool, the Ripple Edit tool. To use this, you just want to come to the end like we just did and drag it back. So we'll do the same exact thing, except these clips will follow and you don't have to drag these over. So it looks like this instead of this, and then it plays and you get a black screen. So we don't want that. So the Ripple Edit tool is actually very useful. And to get there, you can also press B. So let's undo that. And the next tool, which is also very useful, the Razor tool. The Razor tool you can use to cut up clips. So let's say I want to stop this clip here, but then I want to start it again right here. I will cut those clips, I will select this clip and drag it over. Now, as you can see, when this first clip ends, the second clip will start. Also, another quick note, if your clip doesn't snap like this and line up, then you need to press the Snap in Timeline button right here. And as you can see, you can also press S to do that. Now I'm going to skip down a tool, down to the Pen tool, and you can see if you hold, you get these options, Rectangle tool, Ellipse tool, and you can basically draw these over here on the top right. Now things like masking and doing that sort of stuff is a little more complicated, and that's what you would use things like this for. And I'll get into that in another video. Below that, we got the Hand tool and the Zoom tool. This was helpful for if you want to drag around, if you're really zoomed in, and just do that. On the very bottom, we got the Type tool, which is pretty self-explanatory. You can just type anything you want on your composition. And as you can see, it also shows up on your timeline. So you can edit this as well, edit the length, and do whatever you want to that. Now I'm gonna zoom out on our timeline, which is another useful shortcut. Just press minus key, and the opposite is zoom, which is plus. Now I'm gonna show you some basic, cool little things you can do on the timeline. One thing is you can lock layers. All right, so I can lock this layer right here so that I can't make any edits to this. If I want to duplicate this and put it on the second channel instead of the first one, then I would just press Control V or Command V on Mac, and you see how it pastes on the second line here instead of the first. Now this is helpful because if I want to overlay something onto the clip below and this isn't locked, and I press Control V, then it just gets rid of the clip below it, which we don't want. Another cool little thing you can do is press this I. If you press this I, then you can't see the track below. Now a couple more little cool shortcuts here. You can press spacebar to play the video. Now you can also do this by going over here and pressing this play button. Another thing you can see here, which is very helpful, is coming over to this. Now, this is very high definition footage, it is 4K, so if I set this to full, it will buffer when I try to play it back. Right, so it lags a little bit. Now, if I go to 1/4 or even 1/8, the quality when I'm watching it here will be lowered, but it won't lag. And when I export it, it will be perfect quality, in 4K that is. Another way to make editing on heavy clips that are 4K or just very good quality, even higher, is to make proxies out of those clips, which essentially make the clip lower quality while you're watching it, but they export fine. Now I'm not going to show you how to do that in this video because it's a little complicated, but I can show you in another tutorial. So next thing I want to go over here is effects. When you first open Adobe, your effects will probably be here in this bottom left on this bar here. Now what I like to do is drag the effects up to this top right. You can see that it will turn blue, and I like to drag mine up to there just so I can have them readily available, while still having these clips in the bottom left easy to access. So the most basic effects that I use are in audio transitions. If I want to fade out in audio, I use constant power. And in video transitions, you can use these dissolves to transition between clips. So I'll show you an example here. I'm going to zoom in on the timeline just so you can get a better look. So with these effects, you want to drag it and bring it in between two clips. So as you can see, it's not landing on both of the clips here. This is because the end of this clip is not cut. So what I usually do, you can see what this does initially here. So it's already a decent transition, but if I want to make it a little smoother, I'm going to cut before the end of the clip there, and now I'm going to take the addictive dissolve, and you can see it lands on both clips. And you see it gets that little bit of a flash, which is a cool effect. And these other ones are similar and you can kind of play around with them. Now we might say, okay, these are cool effects, I like that, but how do I zoom in? I want to zoom in on my clip. So one way of doing this, and this is how I do a lot of my animating or keyframing, you come over to these effect controls in the top left. As you can see, we have these motion options. So these will control the clip that is selected. If I move this in, it will zoom in on my clip. If I move the position, it will move to the side. So say I want to start zoomed out and move in on the clip. So we're gonna start with scale, we're gonna keyframe it. We're gonna press toggle animation here, and we're gonna press the position key right here. Now we go to the point where we wanna zoom in, and I think that's a good place to stop. And I wanna zoom in on these dead trees over here. So I'm gonna go to the scale and zoom in, and it will set a keyframe right here. So here is the starting point where it's zoomed out and then it zooms in there. Now I want to move the position. I'm going to move it over there, and it should zoom in, as you can see. There we go. Now I'm assuming you'd never make a zoom like that, but that's just for reference. Another thing you can do is play with the rotation over here and rotate your clip how you'd like it. If you come down, you see the opacity. You can drop the opacity, and you have time remapping, which is a little more complicated and for another video. The last thing I'm going to show you is the color panel. So you want to come up to this top and go to color. Go to this right side and you'll see lumetri color and select that. Now here you can change the saturation of your layer, you can change vibrance, you can change all of that. Now let's press Ctrl Z and get rid of those things that I just did there. And let's say you want to do those, but you want to add them not to the direct clip. So what you're going to want to do is come over to the bottom left and click on this new item icon, go to adjustment layer, press OK, And now we'll select the adjustment layer and add these things to it. So as you can see, when we're above the adjustment layer, it will be very saturated, and when we're not, it will not be saturated. So that is the last simple thing I will go over today. Obviously, I will do more in-depth tutorials. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more of this, and let me know in the comments what you want to see in another tutorial or what you want to know how to do.